Thank you, sir. My question is for the Minister for Tourism. How much did taxpayers pay for the exclusive invite-only Sam Smith social influencer event, and was alcohol included in that cost? And with your leave, sir, and that of the House, I'll explain.
Leave is sought. Is leave granted? Member for Murray Alta.
Thank you, sir. According to one influencer, and I quote, at the Sofitel, it was very private. There was free alcohol here, so you've got to believe we got a little messed up. But it was worth it, like the vibes here were immaculate. I tried to vape, found out I don't like vapes. I think there were only 300 people here. It was pretty intimate. I still genuinely don't understand how we can get invited to these things. Like, I just feel so lucky. It's like a dream come true. I don't know. It's just incredible. Imagine how we feel.
Order. Member for Unley is warned. Minister has the call. Minister.
I thank the member for the question. We had an opportunity for a competitive promotion to have Sam Smith here in South Australia. And we went for that opportunity because if it wasn't us, it would have been in front of Sydney Harbour. We want to change perceptions
Member for Morford.
of South Australia.
Order. Minister has the call.
And challenge those perceptions. We want
Member
to raise
for Unley.
awareness. But this is an absolute nonsense question, and I will not take advice from you.
Order.
Let's just give ourselves a bit of context here. When the opposition were in
Member for
government,
Schubert.
they came up with the Old Mate campaign.
Oh, yeah, let's remember that one.
Now, the geniuses that had an old mate.
Order. Order. Minister has the call. Minister.
So, at a time where we are raising awareness.
Member for
about
Unley, you're warned for a second time. Minister has the call.
At a time we're raising awareness about South Australia, where we are committed to changing the perceptions, what we have to fight is this legacy. And what a legacy in tourism was left. An old mate crying.
Member for Hartley. Member for
Crying
Murray
in
Alta.
Adelaide. Crying about South Australia.
Order. Member for Flory is warned. Member for Hartley is warned. Member for Murray Alta on a point of order.
Thank you, sir. Standing Order 98. The Minister is not responding to the substance of the question. She is debating. The question was direct. How much did taxpayers pay, and did that include the cost of the alcohol?
Listen carefully. There's some force in the submission that's been put to me.
Thank you very
Standing
much.
Order 98 does require the Minister to have well in mind the question. Minister.
There was a modest expenditure for what has been an extraordinary outcome.
Order.
And the figures
Order.
that were thrown around by the opposition were absolute nonsense. As the Premier made clear, we have a commercial in confidence arrangement, but it was about a six-figure sum.
It's like one Whetstone trip.
Members to my left, you have many answers, but you are not on your feet. Minister.
As a government, we are entirely committed to building back the tourism and hospitality industry. Now, I have had the opportunity for 5 years in opposition and in government to hold this portfolio. And can I tell you who was crying? It was our tourism industry. Felt left down by this government.
Order. Order. Member for Schubert well knows the standing orders. Member for Murray Alta.
Thank you, sir. Standing Order 98. The Minister is not answering the question, the substance of the question. She's debating, and she should be drawn back to the point, sir.
I draw the Minister's attention to the question at hand, and I remind all members that an answer is likely to be within the standing orders if it falls closer to the heart or the pith of the question that was asked. Minister.
Thank you very much. As I said, this was a modest expenditure for an extraordinary outcome, and we are committed to growing it. I said how much it was, as much as I can, because of commercial in confidence.
Member for Murray Alta.
And we use a tried and tested use of influencers and media people.
Member for Flory is warned.
More importantly, people that won a national radio competition. You seem to forget that for 5 weeks, what we were talking about is South Australia, all over Australia. This was a great opportunity for us to raise awareness and change perceptions. And people came to South Australia to see this unique opportunity, this promotional concert.
Member for Colton.
We did not pay them to come. We did support them while they were here, but that is a tried and tested method. But I will not be lectured to by people who fail the tourism industry time and time again. Can we not forget they axed the Adelaide 500? I mean, one of the biggest failures possible, one of the most popular events.
Member for Wright.
And we are committed to building out the calendar.
Member for Chafee. Member for Flory is warned for a second time. Well knows the standing orders. Member for Morialta.
Thank you, sir. My question is to the Minister for Tourism. Can the Minister detail whether any MPs, ministerial advisors or public servants attended the Sam Smith concert? And if so, who did and why?
Minister has the call. Minister.
Very much.
Member for Chafee is on 2 warnings.
As Minister for Tourism, I was invited to the concert, but I had commitments in the Riverland and the River region.
Member for Morford is warned for a second time. Minister. Minister has the call.
And I was spending time talking to people in the river regions about our commitment to building back tourism. I said publicly at the time that I was represented by Minister Michaels, and she attended in that capacity. We have a very, very connected local member.
Order.
From Mawson.
Order.
Was there
Member
as
for Mawson.
a roadie helping alongside.
Member for Colton.
Because he's a very helpful person and he's always there.
Order. Minister has the call. Member for Colton is warned for a third time.
No other member in this House that doesn't advertise and support his electorate than the member for Mawson.
Order. Member for Mawson. Member for Mawson is warned. Order. The exchange between order. Members to my left are succeeding only in running the clock down. It's their own question time. Interjections will cease. Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. This promotional opportunity was something we bid for. And as I say again, had we not bid for this, Sam Smith, they would have done this promotional concert announcing their Australian tour and their new album in front of the Sydney Harbour Bridge or the Sydney Opera House. I know, the Malinowskis Labor government knows, we must build back this industry, and we have been focused on it. And we're not just focused on it since we came into government, but before.
Minister, there's a point of order from the member for Morialta, but before I hear the member for Morialta, I will warn the member for Hartley for a third and final time. Member for Morialta.
Thank you, sir. Standing Order 98. The question was direct. Which MPs, public servants or ministerial advisors were invited or went to the concert? And the minister has neighboured herself and since then gone nowhere near the question.
Order.
Sorry.
Order. Member for Mawson is warned for a final time.
She named herself and is represented by Minister Michaels.
Yes, indeed. The minister, having the standing order in mind, might chart a line closer to the question. Minister, member for Hartley.
I would never like to disagree with you, Mr. Speaker, but I did mention that Minister Michaels was in attendance and the local member was there, as he publicly told us that he was there.
Yes, he's informed the House.
There were
Minister.
some members of SATC there as well. But can we just focus, right? The failed opposition in tourism.
Member for Schubert.
And I've spent a lot of time talking to our tourism operators and our tourism stakeholders, and they felt let down. They felt ignored. And when we came out in our election commitment for $40 million for additional marketing, and $45 million for additional marketing, $40 million for major events. It was welcomed. It was welcomed, and a complete absence of policies on the other side. And we have doubled down on this. And what have we earned since this time? We've run the AFL Gather Round. We've run Live Golf.
Order.
And we've had the best women's cyclists here ever before.
Order. There's a... Minister, please be seated. Members to my right will cease interjecting. Members to my left. Member for Hartley. Member for Morialta.
Thank you, sir. Standing Order 98, she's continuing in the manner that you've told her not to.
Order. Well, it may be that the minister has concluded her answer or is very close to concluding. Minister's concluded her answer. It's therefore not necessary for me to rule. However, I'm keeping a very close eye on the member for Hartley. Member for Morialta.
Thank you, sir. My question is to the Minister for Tourism. Did taxpayers pay for Sam Smith to post on social media from a McDonald's car park on their account? And if not, can the Minister detail what they did ask?
Order. 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 Members. Member for West Torrens. Minister has the call. Minister has the call. Member for West Torrens. Member for West Torrens. There is order. Order. Member for Frome. Member for West Torrens. Minister has the call.
Well, I can assure you that it wasn't McDonald's in Mount Gambier.
Order. Member for Morford. Member for West Torrens. Member for West Torrens.
It's the wrong fast food, John.
Order. Member for Chafee. Member for Chafee. It's called to order. Minister has the call.
When you have people come here and you have a contractual arrangement, there are certain things that they're asked to do. And Sam Smith fulfilled that.
Member for Morialta. Minister.
But I can tell you that we were very satisfied and we have achieved an advertising value equivalent of $32 million. We saw an opportunity.
Order.
We know that to grow back our international market, we have to turn heads. And that's
For Unlea's
why
one for a final time.
we delivered on the £10 pom competition, which 16,000 people entered that.
Member for Hammond.
We have to be noticed. We have to stand out in the world. And Sam Smith,
Member for Flinders.
the promotional opportunity was just that. Sam Smith, they are a global sensation, a global icon.
Order. Order. Member for West Torrens. The question does not concern a fine Scottish restaurant. Minister.
Sam Smith has a global...
Minister.
Dig up.
Minister has the call.
Sam Smith attracts a diverse audience, a diverse global audience. And just this week, they won a Grammy. With more than 30 million people across their social media, this was an opportunity that we were presented, we bid for, and we won. We want to grow back international tourism, and we want to be a destination that is sought after. And what that means is that we have to go out and be innovative and try things that turn people's heads. I will make no apology as the Minister for Tourism to focus on exactly what my job is, and that is to grow tourism. We are nearly back to where we are pre-COVID, but we have ambitions and we have aspirations.
Order. Minister, I anticipate that there is a point of order on Standing Order 98.
Sir, avoiding the question again, thank you. 98.
Well, Minister, having the question well in mind, there being under a minute remaining, perhaps you will chart a course close to the question. Minister.
We are committed to growing tourism in South Australia. We have filled out the events calendar. We've brought back the Varlo Adelaide 500, and we will continue to look for promotional opportunities. We will do some of the traditional things. For those who want a little more, is out there, and we'll run through to winter time. We've got that in TV and radio, and we've got it on outdoor advertising. And we were able to do that because of the additional money in the marketing budget. It is working. And do you know what? The tourism industry is seeing the results of this commitment. But can I tell you... Oh, no one's buying it.
Minister's conclude her answer.